going on, guys? Welcome back to another FaceIt League cast, dude. We made it to Friday. We're at the end of the week. Holy cow. It's been a great week of playoffs, by the way. Just throwing it out there. Been awesome to be a part of and awesome to cast. And today I'm excited because we are back in Expert. And don't tell the Masters guys because, I love the Masters guys, but Expert may be my favorite league out of the two. I'm not trying to play favorites here, but I love Expert. I don't know what it is about this league, but it's gritty and I can respect the grit, and it's nice to be back home. Some would say, you know what I mean. I've done a lot of expert casts this season, and we got another great one today. We got the lower semifinals game. I guess would be technically what the 3 and the 4, because the winners bracket game is also going on at the exact same time right now. But we got WAY2THANUS versus Fallen Angels. Loser is eliminated from playoffs, and the winner will advance to the lower finals versus the loser of the winter finals game between Team Missing and Mouse 5. So, really big playoff implications here. The top 2 in Expert do auto-qualify to Masters. So, if one of these teams can win 2 in a row, they will get a guaranteed Masters slot, which obviously would mean a lot, I think, to both teams. You don't want to have to play through that relegation phase, and I think these relegation teams are going to be a little tough to play against. I'm not going to lie. Was it Wink and Element Garden? Those are not 2 teams I think you want to play against. I'm not going to lie to you. They're both very good, so do not underestimate them. But obviously the prize pool at play as well, and just pride on the line. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited. We can go ahead and take a look at both of these teams. Let's go ahead and start with WAY2THANUS here. And this is a roster I think everyone is familiar with. Is this cast number like 6 of them? Like, Jesus, dude, we have them on here so much. But I love the boys. I love them all. And of course we got Shane on the tank. Having a really, really good season so far. He likes to play a lot of different things. We'll see what he kind of moves to tonight, and then the biggest thing, I think, is when we get to this DPS line. You also have performance play and hit scan, but you have 2 flex DPS on the roster. Kirito is not listed, and he supplements KMJ because KMJ is a Junkrat one-trick, and Kirito is a Pharah one-trick. Pharah/Echo, actually. Actually, KMJ has the Vendetta on him, for those who know. I swear to God, he's got a Vendetta on him. But yeah, these 2 flex DPS, they're specialists here, so you ban one away, the other one just comes in. And I'm curious to see how teams kind of decide to play around that, especially Fallen Angels tonight. But it's a very, very deadly flex DPS duo. And then rounding out the roster, we have Consequence and Cameron, 2 very, very awesome support players. Very, very wide hero pools, can play a lot of things. When you have the rest of the team is kind of stuck in what they want to play, it's really, really nice to have the flexibility on the back line to kind of complement whatever the rest of your team does want to play. So you're not just throwing here. A team of 5 one-tricks would be cool. I'm not gonna lie, but not here today. Fallen Angels, though, getting closer to it. It's kind of the same situation here. Boot Chop on the tank is a Malga one-trick, but they do have Indie Reserves Ghost, the Doomfist OTP, for when the Malga is banned out. Nyanza plays the hit scan, and then 2 flex DPS once again. Martian playing Tracer and Kree playing the Genji. A deadly, deadly DPS duo. You can see double flex come out of this team, and honestly, it may be one of their best looks that they have. It is very, very deadly. And then, once again, this backline. It's flexible. It's not a one-trick backline. It is Benji and Catch. They can play it all. And honestly, I think the biggest takeaway for me this season is that comfort is much more important than meta, right? I mean, both of these teams, you could argue they've hit meta at a really, really nice time. Bootchop obviously is a Malga player, so you'd think that Malga being strong kind of does complement him. But when you're an expert and you're just trying to make it to Masters, it's always more important to play what you're best at. Don't get stuck in the box that is playing the meta and I can't win on something else, because you can. You really can. Anything works as long as you're good enough at it, and I really, really like what these 2 teams have shown us so far this season. I think it's been a very, very awesome season from both of them, and I'm hoping that we get a banger in the semifinal game. Also, there are 2 Masters matches tonight. They're both elimination games. Exo versus, wow, I can't believe I'm blanking on this. Exo versus Team Z, and Kintsugi versus Amplify. I did my reps, I did my picks, on the FaceIt Frenzy cast. Hunter Tane hosts it. He's announcing it on Twitter before match days. We do it at around 8:25, and we just do like a 30-minute little segment, 30-minute little segment where we break down the games, do some preds. I think I have a lot of good insight on what I'm thinking about when I'm making preds on teams. So if that's something you think interests you, make sure you follow me on Twitter to stay tuned with that, and make sure you tap in to those FaceIt Frenzy streams, because they are very, very fun to do, and I love talking about what I'm seeing from the teams and why I'm thinking a certain way. So, yep. Besides that, Fallen Angels are going to kick us off here. They're going to get the first map pick, and they're going to take us to Lijiang Tower, and they're going to ban away Pharah, targeting Kirito. Pretty hardcore early, I'm not going to lie to you. And WAY2THANUS, I don't know if they've been in this territory before. I feel like Farah has always kind of been allowed when they're playing a map like Lijiang Tower. I don't know if I've ever seen the Farah get banned away. Kirito can play the Echo, though, so we'll have to see if this does have any impact. I'm sure there is a contingency in place. You could also just put KMJ in to play the Junkrat. Obviously, super, super good on Control Center, the very, very brawly point. But the other 2 points, I'm curious to see what he does come up with and what he's cooking with. We're just going to have to see what their counter ban is. It is going to be locked in. Lineups will be finalized here. We'll see what these teams are playing. I'm pretty certain that I think Martian will probably come in to play the Tracer on this map. Martian, honestly, could be the MVP of this Fallen Angels team, kind of the sleeper MVP. I think Bootshop and Ghost do get a lot of the love, but I've been talking around the bush, and people are saying this Tracer player is kind of the heart and soul. Does a ton in the backline, and he's very, very talented at his one trick. So you got to give the credit to Martian, man. He's a beast. And lineups will be finalized here. Just going to have to wait. Going to have to suck it up. Not usually. Everyone knows I'm not usually the guy who likes to wait, bro. But I've become patient. I've become used to it here. And honestly, I've been reflecting on the season a little bit. I'll just go ahead and tell you guys now. Tomorrow, I do not know if I'm going to be able to do a cast or not. If I do, I'm pretty sure it's going to be the expert game tomorrow. But if I don't, I mean, I got things I gotta do. So that would basically wrap up the season for me. I could obviously do the grand finals on Monday as well. I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people are going to do that one, but I'm down to do it if people are interested. I'll probably just ask the teams involved if they want me to or not. So stay tuned for that. But besides that, our season will be over soon. WAY2THANUS versus the Malga team of Doom and Despair. Hey, don't count out Ghost. That you think they're the Malga team, and then you ban Malga, and Deuce just is putting straight belt in your backline for an entire map. You're just like, what the hell happened? Some brown kid, thank you so much for the sub, dude. It means a lot. You are the team missing owner. I do remember you, Rich. I don't know if you want to go by Rich or your tag. You're probably gonna have to let me know. But appreciate the tier 1, dude. Thank you so much. It means a lot. And hopefully I can do some casts of team missing in this playoff cycle. I really like that team. It's just availability and stuff. It sucks sometimes. And Kirito is staying in here. It looks like some people may be restarting their games. I have a few added in. They just kind of got off Overwatch. So yeah, we'll see what happens here, but Kirito will stay in. Martian is in, and Kree is going to be in. Nyanza subbed out here as Lucio is taken away by the side of WAY2THANUS as well. So really interesting and pretty impactful bans coming in early. Kirito does get targeted, but he's going to stay in, so you think it's definitely probably going to be the Echo here. As I lock in these bans. Bootchop also is playing, so we're going to 100% see Malga from the side of Fallen Angels. No Cat Bastion as well, so I think we're going to see Malga, Tracer, Genji, not Kirilu, maybe Juno Break. I don't really know. We'll have to see what they play on the support line. I'm not 100% sure, but WAY2THANUS, they're getting into the lobby. They're going to send us over into the first map here. We'll just have to see what they're kind of thinking about here, what they're thinking about playing. Obviously, no KMJ, and it's going to be Kirito. I'm sure it's going to be something along the lines of Echo here. Probably not Kiri Lucio, maybe on a break. I don't know. I have no clue what we're going to see. The Lucio ban kind of shakes things up for me here. Obviously, Lucio kind of a staple of Lijiang Tower, so very curious that we're getting that ban here. But our questions will be answered very shortly here as the team's about to choose their initial lineups, and hopefully I do not get faked out here because Chain could choose any hero in the game. I'm convinced he could choose a DPS if he wanted to, and looks like he's going to start out here on the Ramattra, Performance on the Reaper, but going over to the Sojourn, and Kirito on the May potentially, but I could see him going over to the Echo as well. So interesting team comp for WAY2THANUS here. It's going to be the Juno Brig, and for Fallen Angels, they're hovering the Jetpack Cat.
Or expect to lose.
Probably going over to the Juno Brig themselves, I'd assume. Kree, though, not on the Genji, on the Reaper here. Reaper getting a ton more playtime recently. I think everyone's kind of seeing how powerful those buffs are. And getting the dire triggers on base kit is super impactful as Benji does go over to the Brig here. Martian on the Tracer. Double flex lick from Fallen Angels. And WAY2THANUS, they're going to make their way over to the point immediately. But Fallen Angels, they're already here. Bootshop on the Malga. Going to zoom on over here. An early wall turn for Kirito as Bootshop engages, looking for damage, and Kree trying to capitalize on the Reaper here, but WAY2THANUS doing a nice job staving through this. Kirito, though, will go down, and the trades are here. Chain and Performance each going to find one. Chain going to clean up a second onto Cash, and this Ramattra starting to get activated early here as Camera going to get us through to this early point cap, and WAY2THANUS, they're starting off strong. Arguably the hottest team in Expert right now. This team We had a lot of questions during the season. They gutted out at 3 seed that a lot of people, especially like even me, I don't know if they were the 3 seed at the time based on how they were playing, but they've definitely proved it so far here, and they're looking strong to start off. Fallen Angels, see what they can do to get back into this one. Bootchop going towards the point. This wall from Kirito can be really, really good in staving the Malga away. Bootchop taking a ton of damage here. He's gonna be able to kept alive though, and almost gets booped off the map by Cameron, but gonna be able to stay on. WAY2THANUS starting to pump out damage here. Bootchop once again looking for another turn, but Cameron gonna find the better of the Malga here. Big boop off the map from the big player. Pulse bump from Martian, not going to lead to anything. Kree going to fall. Catch gonna get staggered out here on the Juno. Has to make his way off the map, and what a start for WAY2THANUS here. They're able to stave off these Malga turns. Look at Bootchop's ult charge, only 36%. This Malga hasn't been able to play the game at all, and we'll have to see if Fallen Angels can find some sort of momentum here. Waiting for the respawn. Catch obviously did get staggered in the point. Already at 60% here for WAY2THANUS, and Bootchop gonna make his move. Performance gonna have to slide forced, and maybe an opportunity to engage onto the Sojourn here. Bootchop trying to get his HP back up, but Chain and Kirito not going to allow him to do so. Early crunch from the Malga, but the rally is out from Cameron. Trying to walk down this core, but Kree and Martian in the backline going to create a little bit of space for their team to work with. Cause Cameron to peel, but it's not enough to keep Bootchop alive. And once again, Fallen Angels have to turn tail and run back to their spawn room. What a start for WAY2THANUS here with the Pharah band, by the way. Ult's starting to build up for both teams, though. Basically everything but rally for WAY2THANUS, and for Fallen Angels. Catch as the Juno Ray. Gonna drop it onto the point here. Lots of ults gonna start getting popped, but Kree gonna silence Performance. As consequences, Juno Ray gonna get thrown into this. Kree gonna use the Ramble, or not the Ramble, the Reaper trying to stop the Ramble from finding value, but Chain gonna take him down anyway. Cage out for Bootchop here. The male gonna do a good job of staving this Malga off, but 2 trades are here for Fallen Angels, and consequences gonna fall to Bootchop. Wait, maybe a way in here. This Malga player doing everything right now, but Performance gonna clean him up, and Fallen Angels not gonna have a touch available, and it's gonna be WAY2THANUS getting off to a strong 1-0 start here on Lijiang.
Score 1-0.
We'll have to see if there's any adjustments that come out of the Fallen Angels team comp. Kree is on the Reaper for now. Could go over to the Genji. Kirito going over to the Echo as Benji locks in the Wu Yang. So looks like they're going to be a little bit of swaps from both teams here. I like WAY2THANUS' look on the first point. I like that they're kind of changing it up here. The Echo could maybe catch this Wu Yang by surprise. Looks like Martian going to go over to the Echo as well. We may see a little bit of an Echo duel here between 2 very, very talented flex DPS players. I'm excited to see what happens. No TP for Fallen Angels. WAY2THANUS may be able to get here early, and they're going to scout out this Martian Echo pretty quickly. Performance set up in Dojo. Start pumping out damage, looking for the Malga. Needs to be careful. Kree lurking at the doorway. But the Performance is just going to get blown up. Fallen Angels, they press onto the Sojourn. Cameron falls as well, and Chain going to be looking for a trade here onto Benji, but Fallen Angels, they're going to stay alive, and they're going to start this early point cap here on the second point. Really, really nice start for them. They're looking to make their way back into this map after a pretty dominant round 1 from WAY2THANUS. Dash playing in the Dojo area. No ults available from either team here. Percentage starts to get ticked up, and lots of swaps coming in from WAY2THANUS. Looks like almost the entire comp but Kirito swap. Performance going over to the Ashe. Chain on the Orisa, Cameron the Ana, and consequence the Kiri. So a double flex support look here. Kind of interesting in my opinion. They're going to play White Room. Chain going to try and walk onto the point here into the Malga, but Bootchop just outputting so much damage. Now going to hit the go button into the backline, but gets antsied, and the Malga's going to fall here. Maybe a big mistake, but Kree and Martian are going to combine for Chain and Kirito here. So a 4v3 in Fallen Angels' favor as Kree looking for more kills, but going to get forced out here by Consequence, who's quickly working up to a Kiri Rush of his own. The respawns of WAY2THANUS are going to take quite a while to come. Performance is stuck here on an island. Looking for Martian. The Echo needs to be careful, but the follow-up shots go wide, and Kree looking for the Ashe now, teleporting into the backline, but pretty solid neutral here from both teams. Neither want to give an inch, but Fallen Angels have control of the point here, so it's going to be on WAY2THANUS to make the move, and Bootchop going into the backline early here is Kree. Gonna finish off Cameron. Kirito is going to dupe the Malga though, but Performance now gone. Chain gone as well, and this dupe going to go to waste as Fallen Angels once again put together another fight win. And it looks like kind of a tale of 2 points here. Point 1 dominated by WAY2THANUS, but this point being dominated by Fallen Angels in turn. Hopefully a sight of things to come in the series. It's back and forth. Captivating thus far. We'll see what happens here. Tree gonna go in here. Has the Reaper ult. WAY2THANUS, you need to be careful. The backline going to go down to this Reaper ult of Kree. And Benji gonna throw the ult onto Catcher, just keeping the Juno alive, but going to clean up Chain, who trades the Wu Yang, but I don't think there's a touch available here for WAY2THANUS. Consequence, gonna play KD, I'll say it. I'll say it. I'll say it. I'll call him out. That was KD's save. Add a death to his total. I don't care. But yeah, Fallen Angels battling back here. 200 to zeros, but somehow we're 1-1 on Lijiang Tower. We'll have to see what happens here on Control Center. This is the point I think that is the most chaotic, the close quarters. Make it easy for teams to get in and out and find fight wins that they may have no business finding. Kirito gonna go back over to the Mei. Looks like Chain sticking it out on the Orisa as Martin goes back over to the Tracer. Benji sticking it out on the Wu Yang as well. Likes the extra poke damage the Wu Yang offers. Probably doesn't feel like they need the survivability of the break that much. This Malga team is stinky negative. They're stinky positive too, if we're gonna be honest too. Like, they're kind of gross, but we'll see if they can keep it going here. WAY2THANUS going to mirror towards server. Chop going to make it here first. Going to take all the space onto this first corner. Looking for a crunch onto Chain. Going to light him on fire in this Orisa. Taking so much early damage. Going to be forced to back off here. Gold forced as well. You can see Chop going to hit the tail end of this as Cameron, goodbye. The break alive for now, but you think has to fall to Kree, who's going to get the kill. A +1 fight here once again for Fallen Angels as Chain does trade catch, but will go down himself. 4v3 now. Fallen Angels' favor. Chop just running rampant on the point here. Kirito falls, and it's just Consequence Performance left. Trade onto Kree, but the Juno just going to reset off the map, and Fallen Angels going to continue their little momentum streak from point 2 here in a very, very strong start to the final point of Lijiang Tower. Martian poking from the side room here. Probably going to hit the tail end of this rotate. See this Tracer set up here. Just shooting at the back line. See what he is able to do. Fallen Angels, they're playing this slow, but Kirito's going to draw first blood. Finds Benji. Performance the follow-up damage onto Cameron. Or not onto Cameron, onto Catch, but Cameron will get traded. Martian, nice trade onto Consequence, so no backline available for WAY2THANUS. They're going to target the Malga while the supports are dead. Performance is going to fall. Chain gets pulsed, and Fallen Angels, they may have found a way back into this. Martian's 1 HP, but the respawns are almost back. Catch is going to find the kill, and they're going to hold on here. WAY2THANUS so close to getting the flip, but Fallen Angels play it perfectly. Great trades from Martian. Awesome pulse bomb. And they're going to continue to hold the point here. 60% accumulated. Catch is falling behind on the Juno Ray. Consequence has about a 20% advantage here, and that is something significant to talk about. Juno Ray, probably the strongest ult in the game. Not in, I mean, in this game, not in the actual, like, overall. But you know what I'm saying here. Kirito gonna start us off with the Mei ult. Martian does find Cameron, and Chop trying to get bursted down, and will fall. Performance going to go down as well. Chain using the Orisa ult, but probably just needs to reset now. Not a lot of way to get back into this fight. Gonna force out the raids, but no one really available here for WAY2THANUS, and Consequence is gonna fall 96 to the Juno Ray. You're gonna have to wait on this this Juno respawn, but someone now has to find a way to touch the point. Chain, maybe the one who has to do it here. Kree though, gonna fall big thing from the Orisa player. This is a way to start building momentum. Chop gonna use the cage on the Orisa, but Chain still cleaning up. This Catch gonna fall to the overclock. Chain will get traded here, but his job has been complete. He touched the point. And WAY2THANUS, they're gonna find a reverse cap here somehow down their Juno. And it only took the overclock from Performance. Chain to throw the Orisa into a little bit earlier portion of the fight. Chop does throw the cage into it. So I think WAY2THANUS, honestly, not a bad position now. Usually these retakes are pretty ult intensive, but still lots available to work with here. Both support ults and DPS going to be coming back up to theirs here. Chop gonna wrap Coast, but Chain going to put an end to Kree early. This Malga off the high ground, but Ray not going to Jax. Consequence just going to fall when he uses it, but it looks like the value will be attained nonetheless here. As Train looking to follow up on a catch as Juno is going to get staggered out. And I think they're sniffing out this setup up top here by Fallen Angels. Not going to want to let Benji escape. We'll see how they decide to try and capitalize on this performance. That needs to be careful not to fall. And Consequence is going to get pulse bomb. What a play from Martian. And now no Juno available. How does WAY2THANUS find a way to win this? Performance going to fall so low, and the Juno Ray being used by Catch. Chain going to trade one onto the Reaper. Chop falling low, but going to get carried by the backline here, and the point will flip back into Fallen Angels' favor. Someone has to touch. It looks like it's going to be Chain. Kirito, though, going to build up to a Mail, and it's going to freeze the Malga. Needs to find the damage, and will Boot Chop fall? He will! WAY2THANUS, are they going to turn this? Chain getting back to healthy here. Consequence is back on the cat, and Kree's going to fall too for Cameron thus far. Performance cleans up Martian, and WAY2THANUS, they're going to hold on somehow. Even though Consequence got pulsed immediately to start the fight. It took the entire ult bank though, and Benji has built up to another wee angle. Martian, another pulse bomb. We'll have to see how they decide to use these here. Let's see how Benji decides to use this wee angle. It's going to be the last fight. 75% fight about to start here. He'll start to run dry, but it's going to be Martian who receives the wee angle, looking for the Juno, and Consequence trying to stay alive here and will be able to. Really nice job from the Juno player, but Shane needs to be careful here. He's taking so much damage. One-for-one trade to start us off here. Both teams down their flex DPS, but Catch needs to be careful here. Performance looking for the shots, and he's going to land them. Boochop really low in the cage. Cameron's going to fall here. Chain gets pulsed. Boochop, no heals available to work with. Martian, 1 HP, going to fall in this Malga. Almost gone, but it's just Consequence and Kirito coming back on the Tracer here. Needs to clean this up. Boochop going to trade the Juno. But Catch is back to keep the Malga alive here. Chain back on the ball, and Kirito's going to fall. Chain needs to touch the point. We'll be able to grab one touch, but these respawns of WAY2THANUS are just so slow in overtime, and Chain already used the ball resources here. Getting fought in the backline, but Bootchop's going low now. Will the Malga fall? Looks like he will. Cameron gets traded, though. As Chain falls, no tank available for either team. He catches Juno Ray, should secure this for Fallen Angels, and what a dogfight map 1. And, okay, that is a really ominous way to type that in chat. That is strange. Anyways, Fallen Angels, what a great map 1. I mean, what a great third point. Literally goes the distance here, and Fallen Angels barely going to squeak it out. Martian 34-6. And what a start to an potentially awesome series, I'd say. Let me go ahead and update the scoreboard, get all of that going here. And yeah, here we are. WAY2THANUS going to get staved away early, but they're going to get a map pick, and they're taking us to Gibby. I was about to say it's definitely going to be Gibby. It's always their second pick. KMJ is going to come in. We're definitely seeing a DPS protect ban. Honestly, I would get rid of Tracer. Unless they just need to wait for someone to piss. I think it's a pretty cut and clear. Do not let Martian play Tracer on a map where Tracer is really strong. Obviously can struggle against the Junkrat, but you're going to stave away potential cart movement early, which I do really like by getting rid of the Tracer, and it makes teams really think about how they're kind of playing the map here. The real question is, what is Chain going to play? Roadhog obviously available, and he loves playing it on this map when he can. So we're just going to have to wait and see what kind of the choice is. And they're running down the timer. Let me tell you, no bueno, no bueno. I feel like the Diamond Gym, because it's like Pop El Wyro, like no bueno, bro. Like, just we gotta lock these bans in. You know what I mean? I'm gonna refresh the page because my ban thing was not really loading. But WAY2THANUS, they're really thinking this one over. I feel like it should be a pretty cut and clear, like, get rid of the Tracer, move on with life kind of ban, but I'm not 100% sure, you know, what we're working with here. Gibby is obviously a map where dive is very popular, but you're playing against a Malga Doom 2-trick team, so what realistically can you get rid of here? And will they even get rid of Junkrat on this map if you leave it open? I mean, lots of mind games to play with the bans in this series. Have to see how the teams decide to balance that out with what they prefer to play here. In this timer, it's at 10 seconds. We got to make a decision. and they're gonna get rid of the Tracer here. Thought it was a pretty good ban. I think it still is a very good ban. Martian not gonna be able to play it. Could play the Echo though. We saw him come out on it on the second point, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Fallen Angels though, they're gonna get their ban in pretty quickly. And we know it's not going to be the Junkrat. And KMJ moves on this map on Junkrat. I didn't know this was a Junkrat map until I watched KMJ play it for the first time. Absolutely disgusting from him. Dude is just a menace, I'm not going to lie. And I'm going to take a look to see what the score is on the other expert game because I love looking at scores and seeing who's winning and not. And it looks like Team Missing going to get a 2-0 on Mouse 5. Mouse 5 definitely have their work cut out for them in the series, but they're only down a map, and we'll have to see if they can battle back into this one. And then I also want to take a look at Masters as well because, you know, I have brackets in both, even though my expert bracket is totally toasted. Like, thanks, guys. Thank you so much. It makes me so happy that my bracket is beyond dead. The lobby invite is here. Masters games, Kintsugi going to get a win early against Amplify, and it looks like Team Z win map 1 as well. So lots of interesting things happening here. Exo, they're the kings of the reverse sweep, so we'll just have to see if they get that going again or not. But we're going into the map here, and I got the second ban. It's going to be Ana from Fallen Angels. I'll go ahead and lock that in. Kree is going to stay in. WAY2THANUS obviously do get rid of the Tracer, protect banning the Junkrat. KMJ is in. And let's just take a look at what these teams have in store for us. We're going to get into this one really, really quickly. And my transition is lagging its balls off. And it looks like Chain is going to play the Roadhog here. He knows Bootchop's going to be on Malga. I'm curious to see how he wants to play it. I do think the Roadhog Malga matchup is a little bit overplayed in terms of like how favored Malga is. I think Roadhog like definitely has a lot of ways he can get into it. I think his ult obviously like really strong against Malga as well. Just dishes out damage. So Chain looks like he's confident in what he's locking here, and it hasn't really done WAY2THANUS very wrong in the past. So we'll have to see how it treats them now. KMJ obviously on the Junkrat here. This guy gonna have to have a monster series for WAY2THANUS to find a win, in my opinion. We'll see what he starts us off with. Martian on the Echo with the Tracer ban. Yanza staying out so far, and no cap bashing in this series, by the way. Very happy. Performance is on the Imre. Chain on the high ground. Cameron on the Alari as well, and it looks like WAY2THANUS, they know how they want to play this map. This Junkrat gets really activated once this cart kind of moves a little bit. You give up the early part of the map, which isn't something you usually see a lot on Gibby. In favor of playing this second part here, you don't get 2 fights, you only get 1, but the fight you get is just so good here. Look at where KMJ is set up. How do you break into this? What is the plan of Fallen Angels? You knew what they were going to do. You could scout this. You can come up with a plan. I'm curious to see what it is here. It looks like they're going to hit top pretty hard. Performance going to fall. Martian going to get the Suzu to stay alive here, and that's one way to start breaking the hold. Is KMJ going to fall, and Fallen Angels, maybe they've cracked the code here. Chain going to find a trade, but still a 3v4. Fallen Angels are up, and they're pushing the cart. Chain going to use the hook here, but takes so much damage. The Hog out of breather and going to die. Fallen Angels, they're marching forward here. 2 for catch. Performance finds 1 trade, but not going to be enough in this first point hold, which has been so good for WAY2THANUS thus far. He's going to immediately get broken through by the Angels. Catch already has a carry rush. Bootchop coming up on the cage. Cameron only going to have the Alari ult here for WAY2THANUS to use to try to find their way into a fight win. Their work is going to be cut out for them. Performance going to take a lot of early damage here. Needs to be careful. Looks like Bootchop wants to walk in, but Cameron using the Alari ult. Going to connect onto Martian here. And the Suzu going to keep the Echo alive, but in the process, Bootchop is going to fall here. And in for WAY2THANUS, and Kree on the Genji, looking for a trade here, but going to get staved away. needs to be extremely, extremely careful. Fallen Angels, they wait for their Malga, and it looks like they're going to get it back in this Wu-Yang Gold. On to Kree. Really nice job from Chain to kind of stave that away, and KMJ's tire not going to lead to anything. Curie Rush is out, and Chain stuck in the cage here, but should be getting the effects of the Curie Rush, but gonna fall anyway. Catch is dead, though, and Martian in the dupe Imriel at his boot chop finds the follow-up with the crunch. KMJ stuck in the room, likely going to fall as well, and Fallen Angels, the momentum is real. They're going to go on to the third point with 5 minutes in the time bank. Absolutely monster amount of time to work with. This is how these escort maps tend to play out. You lose that first fight, and then the old snowball is super, super real on the second point. And now, see if there's a little bit of a way for WAY2THANUS to hold on this point. The Emerald is coming out. Lots of damage being done to the backline, and he sees Martian. Performance trying to find a kill onto the Ekya, but Martian going to do a nice job. Really far out in the backline here, but still alive. And Creed going to use the blade, but Chain going to pull the Genji in with the ult, put an end to the Kree Genji as Martian trades Cameron. 4v4 now. KMJ stuck in the room. Chain trying to keep his Junkrat alive. He will not be able to, but the damage is already done. If Boot Chop falls, catch a Martian though. 2 quick trades, but Chain starting to feel a little activated here. Benji goes really, really low and dies. And WAY2THANUS, they're going to find a fight win here. And they've already burned a minute off the clock, but they still have a lot of work left to do here. No ults in the bank. KMJ coming up on the tire. Oh, they do have ults in the bank. I lied. I just didn't look at it. I just assumed they did. Cameron has the Alari ult as well. Fallen Angels, both support ults available here. Probably going to start us off with the Curie Rush. Cameron maybe wants to go early with the Alari ult. Curious to see how this plays out. As Free does get the Wu-Yang Gold here. And performance is going to fall. Cameron, though, in the backline using the Alari ult. Doesn't look like it's going to find anything here, but the Malga going to be targeted as KMJ uses the tire and trades Martian. Really big kills from the Junkrat, looking for more. Still lots of work left to do here, just poking from the room. And someone has to touch the cart. It's going to be performance for a second, but I don't know if they have another touch here. Consequence for a while as well, but the trades are in for Fallen Angels. Chain going to be the last one here. Almost has the Marisa ult. And it's not going to be enough. Fallen Angels, they're looking dominant. They're going to push this one all the way to the end in record time. 3 minutes in the bank is just gross. You can take a look at the scoreboard here. Martian obviously having a game. Benji having a game himself on the Wu-Yang. And Boot Chop just doing Boot Chop things. We'll have to see if WAY2THANUS have a plan for this attack. Usually they don't have to push the cart very far, so we'll see what they decide to do here. Now, I don't have the observer skills to make this look pretty, so we're just gonna chill and have fun. Nice little flag in the sky, but for WAY2THANUS, Cameron going over to the Wu-Yang off the Alari, Chain walking out on the Orisa as well.
Stay in sight, and I'll keep you safe.
For the side of Fallen Angels, exactly the same thing as we saw last round. WAY2THANUS, they're going to have to find some way to battle back into this one. It's going to be tough. I'm curious to see what their plan is.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Chain just forcing the cart now on the early corner. All of Fallen Angels on the high ground. And Chain gonna put Benji down early. Random kill from the Orisa, but it's gonna open the door from WAY2THANUS. Potentially get a little bit of early space here. You can see KMJ set up in the small room, just poking out. Gree gonna take a little bit of early damage, but Fallen Angels still have a fight here. See how they decide to try and stave off this WAY2THANUS assault. Gree, though, gonna take a lot of early damage, gonna get carried up, but needs to be careful here as Boot Chop engaging, and KMJ going to find the kill on a catch. Chain does get traded, but Creed going to go down. But 3v3 now. Benji getting forced out by Cameron. The Solari player needs to be careful as Boot Chop just going to sit on the card here without Chain available. It's hard for WAY2THANUS to move it in. The trades are good for them right now. They're even, but with Boot Chop alive, lower numbers tend to benefit the Fallen Angels comp. They're going to continue to hold here as Chain is back and walking on the high ground. MJ is poking from the small room here. Martian quickly working up towards an Echo, already 70%. Performance, though, already 70% to his ult. KMJ quickly building up to the tire as well. Just poking from the high ground. Boot Chop's crunch, though, going to lead to a kill on Performance as Creed cleans up Cameron. KMJ falls as well, and once again, it looks like Fallen Angels are going to find a pretty crucial fight win here. Even going to stagger out Consequence on the Kiriko. And Consequence, I would start running towards your spawn, buddy, looking for a TP or something, but going to die late instead. And 2 minutes now remaining on the clock. Chain just going to mirror the Malga now. Doesn't even want to consider the Orisa, and I can't say I blame him. The Orisa was just getting absolutely fried.
What's up? Hey.
Going to start walking on the high ground. KMJ has the tire available. Lots of ults in Fallen Angels' bank right now, and KMJ will start us off. Looking for the Echo, but the dude from Martian, frame perfect, and he finds the kill. Gross play from the Echo. Oh my god. Martian feeling himself, and Fallen Angels, the rest of them gonna clean up here. Consequence use the Curie Rush, and only the Wing ult and the dupes use in turn. So Fallen Angels, they're looking like gold right now. They're looking untouchable. I mean, 1:15 remaining. You have the Bob and the Alari ult, but you still have a lot of work to do to get to the cage, and Boot Chop already has his. Kree has the blade, catch the Curie Rush. I mean, it's going to be a tall task for WAY2THANUS to find a fight win. Martian, ever lurking on the Echo. But Chain gonna sniff it out a little bit here. Martian just gonna get out, play his life, see what happens. Bob out early from Performance. Kree using the Dragon Blade here, looking for the junk grab. Boot Chop gonna find Chain early. Trades, though, not bad from WAY2THANUS. They're actually up one right now, but the rest of all of their team is just so low. Performance getting carried by the Kiriko, and Martian trying to find cleanup on a KMJ. Performance needs to be careful. You're going to get a cross-map Suzus from Consequence to stay alive, and Chain should be back rather soon, and maybe a break for WAY2THANUS to find a way to cap the first point. No ults available for Fallen Angels, and Chain going to have the cage very, very soon here. Needs to make sure he survives in time, but Benji and Creed going to clean up in the back line. KMJ and Consequence are dead, and Chain going to be the next to follow. And it looks like Fallen Angels are going to play a dominant Watch Point Gibraltar to extend the series lead to 2 and put themselves on to the match point.
Play of the game.
And yeah, Fallen Angels, man, they look awesome on that last map. Basically untouchable. Did they lose a fight? Maybe one on the third point of WAY2THANUS' defense. But besides that, they literally they looked unstoppable. And WAY2THANUS, they're going to get another map pick here, but you have to wonder what it's going to be. Flashpoint available, push available, and hybrid available. And it looks like they're going to take us to Runasapi for map 3, a very, very strong Malga map. And honestly, I think you get rid of Malga. I think you like your chance. You take your chances with the Ghost Doomfist. It may be the lesser of two evils here. I don't really know. WAY2THANUS, they can't seem to break through this Malga of Boot Chop. Maybe they like the mirror a little bit more here, and they think that's what the move is, and they don't want to get rid of it. But yeah, it's just been so tough for them so far, and obviously they probably want Junkrat available for Runasapi. KMJ does farm on this map. Let me pull back up the web page here. Gonna once again take some time to talk over the ban. And I really think they need to, because they have looked just out of sorts on these first 2 maps. Such a strong start, and they've just really, really started to fall off as the series has progressed. Let's get a little bit of a score update going as well, because I'm curious what is happening across the rest of the action today. And Mouse 5 find a win, a map win against Team Missing, so they're going to even the series up there at 1 apiece. And for our Masters games, I am curious as well. Still 1-0 Kintsugi and Exo have tied things at 1-1. So really, really awesome Overwatch happening on the sides. I do not know if I'm going to be hopping into the winner's final game, just because I'm really tired today. That's going to be a game time decision. Maybe if the people want it. If the people want it, I will consider it. But besides that, don't really know if I got it in me here. And the ban is in from WAY2THANUS, and it's going to be the Malga. And it looks like they want a map free of Bootchop's Reign of Terror, and I can't say they blame him. He has been an absolute monster so far in this series. And I see a lot of WAY2THANUS support in the chat. We gotta believe in the reverse sweep here. There would be nothing fitting for Expert than 2 maps of dominance and then just a reverse sweep out of nowhere. So we'll have to wait and see what kind of happens here. Junkrat is available to ban, and honestly, if I'm Fallen Angels, I might just take it here. Maybe you want to save it for Flashpoint. But I really, really like getting rid of the junk. What is up, Moncholo? I don't even know. I don't know if it's a ch or a k. So I just say both every time I say your name. Wait, aren't you in a game right now? Pause. Okay. Whatever's going on with that. But yeah, ban is in from Fallen Angels as well. I'm curious to see what they decided to do. And lineups are being finalized. Ghost is in. Nyanza is coming in as well. And for WAY2THANUS, no changes thus far that I can see. But I'm sure if Junkrat is banned, Kirito will come into play. Some other sort of character. And honestly, I think he looked really, really strong on the May today. I'm not going to lie. So I would be kind of curious to see if he does decide to play the May or maybe something else. If Junkrat is available, obviously you do play the Junkrat here. It's just so good. But assuming it's banned, I mean, you do kind of have like limited options, I'd say. So we're just going to have to see what WAY2THANUS' plan here is here, I mean. And everything is going to start running down here. I can transition this over to map pool because I am a good streamer. I swear. Also, added the fade because it hides the like sometimes because the transition I use is it pulls from the web, so it's like laggy sometimes. But I added the fade in to hide the moments where like the lag is minimal, but it just looks kind of shit. And I think honestly I like it a lot. Honestly, I kind of just mess with it, so I'm kind of happy with how that's going. I'm not going to lie. And it makes things look a lot cleaner as well. So I'm very, very happy with that. And still waiting to see what this ban is. When we get locked in and gonna get a lobby invite going here. The ban is going to be on Lucio. They're keeping Junkrat in the game, but Kirito's gonna come in anyway. I don't know if WAY2THANUS were planning for this. I don't know if I was planning for this. I think they thought the Junkrat ban was going to come out. So now they were wondering, do they play the Junk or do they play something else? And it's going to be Kirito coming in, even though Junk's available here. In Fallen Angels, they might have just masterclassed the ban system. I'm shocked that we didn't see a Junkrat ban here. This is a masterclass. Ghost is in on the Doomfist, presumably. And Nyanza also coming in to play the hit skin as well. Martian staying in, probably on the Tracer. And yeah, I'm curious to see what we kind of got going on here. Man, I am just so happy that we get so much good action today. I really want to watch this Exo game too, bro. There's just like every co-streamer in the world is on the Exo game. Like it's genuinely every co-streamer. So I don't want to stack that because you know everyone who probably watches me knows how I think. I'm just like you know what I mean, like not my cup of tea, I guess. To stack all the games. I'd rather do the expert action. The expert action is more fun anyway, right? Like, come on now. We're waiting for people to join the lobby. I'm going to call out whoever it is once again because I always do. It's Chain. We're waiting on Chain. God damn it, Chain. Making us wait to get into the lobby. And there's 3 minutes remaining as well, so. Yeah, just kind of chilling. And also the NBA game is on. I'm literally running. I don't know what I want to talk about, so I'm just gonna chill here, just wait for the lobby to start. I've ran out. I've exhausted my Yap session stuff. If you have any questions, I guess I could answer them, but I'll probably see it so delayed that it really won't matter. And hey, I hit one of my sports bets today. You know that's always good. So, really great way to start the day for me. Let me tell you, sports betting. I'm never happy, bro. I'm never satisfied. It's awful. I wish I could sports bet Overwatch. You know, I was thinking, why hasn't anyone created like a really mainstream like sports book for esports? You know what I mean? Like, obviously it would just be like turbo cheating, but like people would cheat so hard. But I feel like it would just also be like really fun. And also, it reminds me I do need to check something here as well. So I'll be doing that really quickly. Chochi in the chat. What is that big C? Biggest of C's. I see you're scrimming right now. So I hope you had a. I don't actually know if you're scrimming. I don't know if you were doing a warm up or whatever, but I hope you enjoyed yourself in that. Maybe we queue comp after this on alt accounts because I cannot be asked to play on my main tonight. But yeah, finally Chain's in the lobby. We can get it going. Thank the Lord. Someone's going to hear about this, especially if WAY2THANUS win the series. I'm going to complain. I'll say it. I am about as happy as anybody ever. And we're going to get going into this one. Finally, let's take a look and see what the teams are going to be playing here. I mean, Fallen Angels, they're playing with their hand face up. I mean, if it's not Doomfist, like Sojourn, Tracer, not Kiri Lucio. I don't even know. Kiri something, I would be shocked. And our questions are about to be answered here. Let's see what it is for these teams. And Ghost is on the hazard, so I am completely wrong. I look-y thought Ghost was a Doom one trick, so yeah. Turbo cooked, I guess. L ball knowledge from me. Kind of sad about the lack of ball knowledge, to be honest. We're going to be going into this one here. Let's see how we get it going here. The Ghost walking out of spawn on the hazard. Shane on the hazard as well. A nice little hazard mirror. Kirito also on the Pharah for this map. Looks like it's been cooked up in the scrims. We'll see how he wants to play this. Nyanza on the Imre herself. Ghost, going to take a lot of damage early. You can see WAY2THANUS making a conscious effort to shoot the hazard out. Something Choji does not do in my comp games.
The enemy took control of the robot.
And Ghost maybe a little aggressive here. I mean, looking for a hit on the backline, but Martian going to be forced out. Now Ghost taking so much damage as Kirito going to clean up the Tracer, but the cart starting to move for Fallen Angels. Ghost doing his best to stay alive, but the kite going to take him so far out of the fight. Ghost inevitably going to fall to this cast Pharah. And let me tell you about anti-hazard. This team comp, I mean, you can shoot the hazard, and he's just going to take so much damage. WAY2THANUS also have control of the bot, going to get it moving around, and Fallen Angel's going to stagger out a little bit here. Benji going to be a full respawn away, and going to allow WAY2THANUS to get around this corner early, which is crucial. Martian going over to the Echo, getting off the Tracer. And Performance on the cast, just kind of prowling around in the room, looking for a potential kill or surprise onto someone as Martian's starting to wrap from very, very far behind. Second player going to need to be careful here. Just poking out the brig, but Performance coming over to kind of mark this out, and Martian trying to stay alive here. Going to fall to Chain, and WAY2THANUS, is there a little bit of momentum finally? It's been so quiet these first two maps. We'll see if they can finally get it going here. Performance on the Cassidy, walking up. But Martian going to trade away Kirito. Cart already at 80 meters though. Consequence has the Kirish. Performance the high noon. Chain is going to be holding the space aggressively here. Performance using the high noon here, just zoning off a lot of the pressure from Fallen Angels. Benji gonna eat a shot. Not much else. Chain taking a lot of early damage here, trying to stay alive. Ghost trying to capitalize with Chain, making his way over to the Mega. He's gonna grab it here, but he's gonna fall anyway. Ghost and Martian combining for the kill here onto the hazard. Cameron will trade catch out, but Fallen Angels just moving through this. You can see WAY2THANUS trying to find a trade with Fallen Angels. They're disciplined. They're not going to allow that to happen, and they're going to retake control of the bot here. 5 ults in the bank for him. 4 ults available for WAY2THANUS. Everything but the high noon. In this next fight, as I always say, it could be nasty. I'm not going to lie to you. So many ults available to these teams. They're so happy to just drop them in. Goes just pushing the bot forward. Nyanza gonna be the one who starts us off here. The Nano Emerald, but Consequence just gonna get blown up here as Performance falls as well. And Chain gonna use the Hazard ult, but down so many players. You have to wonder if it was a good choice. Ghost gonna clean up Chain. Kirito falls, and big ults used from both teams. But it's gonna be Fallen Angels coming out on top. 2-for-2 trade. Kirito gonna have the barrage for the next fight. Cameron the rally, but still the ult bank of Fallen Angels is just so good. Catch has the Ray, Martian the dupe, Ghost the Hazard ult. We'll have to see how WAY2THANUS decide to try and get their way back into this one. Chain gonna aggress, and Ghost takes a lot of early damage. Kirito though is going to fall, and the ults are getting dumped into this by Fallen Angels. Rally used by Cameron, but too little too late, and the Angels gonna continue their momentum here and looking to aggress and potentially take the lead. Respawns are in for WAY2THANUS. You would think that they do get a touch here, but it's going to be Barrage versus Duke in the next fight. And Chain looks like he's going to try and touch, but actually going to be forced to give up the lead here. Ghost, though, going to get walled in. Needs to be careful. Starting at very, very low HP, and Kirito with the Barrage. Going to fall to Martian early. Martian doing way too much on the Echo. This guy been the X factor so far this series, duping the Kiriko. And going to use the carry rush here. Past the wall of Ghost, and Fallen Angels so aggressive, walking into the spawn. Martian looking for more damage. Both DPS ults available here for WAY2THANUS. They've let this one get away from them so far. The High Noon not going to find anything as Kirito just going to barrage Ghost, but once again, it's not going to find anything, but the follow-up is going to find Benji. This Pharah player looking for more here as Martian is going to fall. Performance cleaning that one up. Nyanza dead as well, and Ghost looking for a trade, but just going to go down to this Pharah player. And WAY2THANUS going to take back momentum here and look to also take back the lead that they've given up. The only problem, they're walking into this Nano Emerald of Benji and Nyanza, and we saw how it went the last time these two had their ults available together. Will we see a repeat of that exact same situation? Who knows? Kirito poking from the small room here. And Consequence going to drop the Kirish into this, but Cameron going to die, and the Kirish, I mean, it's really not going to find much use here. I mean, they're going to get a little bit of meterage, but now they're down a player here. And Chain taking so much damage. No Juno to help keep the Hazard alive, and Ghost going to clean up the Pharah of Kirito. Performance though finds a nice trade, finds 2, but it's not going to be enough to find a fight win here. Really, really nice trades out the door though for WAY2THANUS, but Martian and Ghost going to clean it up, and once again Fallen Angel is going to find control here. Curiot also used from Consequence, pretty important that fight. Chain of Performance well of their ults. Cameron up to a Juno Ray, but once again, it feels like everything coming up here for Fallen Angels. Ghost. So disciplined here. He's gonna back off here. Chain though, using the Hazard ult, gonna catch a lot of players of Fallen Angels here, and they're looking for the Ana. Performance gonna clean it all up with the castle. Big plays for WAY2THANUS. 3 for the Cassidy, and will they find their way back into this one?
I am taking the robot.
Forward spawn activated.
Certainly still have a lot of work left to do, and with 5 ults available from Fallen Angels, it would take a generational blunder for the lead to get given up here. It's basically going to take a full cap for WAY2THANUS. The Juno Ray from Cameron going to go in early, and lots of ults getting popped in turn, but it's going to be Performance who draws first blood. Nyanza finds the trade, and Kirito going to get canceled out of the barrage here, and 3 for the Imre. Nyanza on fire. And Fallen Angels, they're going to stave off this WAY2THANUS push, but the gap is starting to close. Only 6 meters separate these two teams right now. The opening for Angels is still very, very good. They have the Juno Ray, they have the Echo ult. But Benji's going to fall to Chain early. This is something you cannot allow to happen. If you're Fallen Angels, Performance going to clean up Martian as well. And suddenly WAY2THANUS have a lot of life here, coming up on ults. And if they can find stagger kills, namely Ghost, this could get sticky, but it looks like the Hazard will live. They should probably play slow and wait for this Curie Rush to build. Performance gonna use the high noon here. Martian once again, perfect dupe timing to avoid the damage, and this dupe Hazard ult going to clean up the rest of WAY2THANUS here. But honestly, for WAY2THANUS, I think you got what you wanted here. You trained the high noon for the dupe and the Juno ult. In next fight, you can kind of allow this Curie Rush to breathe in peace, knowing there's not a lot that Fallen Angels can do to just ult back into it and find a fight win. And they're so close to finding a foothold, 2 meters away. They're so close to doing it, but Martian, he's sneaking around here, and Kirito falling kind of low. This Echo needs to be careful to give away the position here to do a little bit of damage, but Consequence has the Curie Rush available. Ghost stuck in the corner here, and the Hazard just going to have to get out, but Martian should be active in the backline here. Going to do a little damage to Performance, but the Curie Rush from Consequence is going to come out, and Chain going to use it to aggress here. Benji, though, using the Nano on a catch to keep the Juno alive, but the Ana will fall himself. And Catch going to die anyway. Nyanza slash Martian going to clean up Kirito, but it's all WAY2THANUS right now. This trade on Kirito, though, going to be pretty catastrophic here, and I'm curious to see how they're going to go about this. Both Hazard ults come out, and Ghost might fall here. The Hazard's gone, or WAY2THANUS going to get it over the line. Catch trying to touch the point, but going to die, and I think WAY2THANUS should have this. Martian going to be touching it the last second here, but we're only 2 seconds left, and it looks like the damage is done. The Juno Ray's out, and WAY2THANUS, they're going to come all the way back almost here on Runasapi, and they're going to send it to map 4. You gotta applaud them. What grit to find their way back into the series. Performance 24-6. The Cass seems to be where he's settling in at. And suddenly the series has life. It's do or die time for this WAY2THANUS team, and I will throw us over to the single cam. I was updating the score. And yeah, real life from WAY2THANUS there. I mean, it was a close map, but you know, you just got to get it over the line, and once you see one fall, maybe the rest fall as well. Fallen Angels, though, they're going to get the 4th map pick here, and they're going to take us to Atlas. Also banning away the Kiriko of Consequence, and this is going to be a real test for WAY2THANUS. The only positive, KMJ is available on the Junkrat. And on a map like this, you have to think that's very, very important, considering the close quarter nature. EXO also going to win map 3 against Team Z. They are up 2-1. Mouse 5 win map 3 against Team Missing. Our Mouse 5 coming alive at the right time. They're up 2-1. The counterband from WAY2THANUS is in. I just want to get this last playoff game score because I need to know. And they are tied 1-1 as well. Lots of good series going on right now. Great day to be a FaceIt League playoff game fan, but we are focused on the one in front of us. WAY2THANUS and Fallen Angels going band for band right now. Will it continue? Throw us on over to the map pool as we go on to Atlas here, and I lock these bands in. For WAY2THANUS, it is going to be the Reaper taken away. So do not want to play against Kree on Reaper this map. And obviously, for Fallen Angels, it was the Kiriko taken away here, protecting their backline, which is probably going to be Juno Brig, and allowing Consequence to play something else, given that he's been so good thus far on the Kiriko this series. But we're going to be loading into map 4 pretty quickly. Let's see what these teams want to play here. Bootchop is back in. He's going to be on the Malga. It's going to be the double flex look from Fallen Angels, and they are lethal at this. This might be their best comp. It is just so gross what they do on the Genji Tracer. Like, I don't even know what to say. And it looks like WAY2THANUS, they know what they're walking into here. They're on Cass May. This is the Overwatch 1 DPS, like Czar, like Reaper Diva DPS. This is like Reaper Diva Cass May, like Bap Lucia from like Overwatch 1 era. Like, I feel like we haven't seen this in so long. And maybe an attempt to try and stop these Tracer and Genji from tearing their backline apart. We'll have to wait and see. Shane on the Ramatra are going to take some of the early space here. You can see Bootchop, though, being patient, doesn't want to take any pre-fight poke in the crunch. Going to miss the players of WAY2THANUS here as they look to try and capitalize onto this. And Bootchop is going to fall. WAY2THANUS. Things are looking scary here. Kree will fall. Martian as well, and is going to be controlled the first flashpoint going WAY2THANUS' way. Is there a map 5 in the cards? We'll have to wait and see, but WAY2THANUS, they're not going to give this one up easy. Fallen Angels, though, they are respawned pretty fast. Shane going to use the barrier here early. We'll see how Bootchop wants to get into this one. The Malga last fight did just blow up. It's likely going to need to take a big crunch for him, but Kree is going to fall to performance early. Bootchop looking for something, but doesn't look like he can find anything as Catch falls as well. And suddenly, WAY2THANUS, they're looking strong right now. What's up? Uwunold Palmer. What a name. And suddenly we're working up to last fight here on the first flashpoint. Performance coming up on the high noon, but that's going to be the only thing in the lobby besides Martian's Pulse Bomb. WAY2THANUS have just been so dominant at winning these fights. You can see Martian going to start poking at the backline here. Forever patient as Chain walks down the core of Fallen Angels. Catch and Kree are gone, and the fort point going to get forced here by Benji as Bootchop will fall as well. WAY2THANUS, they're content letting the point flip here so they can recontest later with a man advantage. Benji needs to be careful here. The Wing barely going to survive, but this point flip looking to be threatened by WAY2THANUS, but Martian going to find a crucial pulse bomb on a Kirito. Performance trades the Wu Yang, and the High Noon coming out here from the Cassidy. Going to throw it into Kree, but not going to find a kill. And this Genji, very, very low, is going to fall. Point flip has not been attained yet by WAY2THANUS, but using the Juno Ray in hopes of securing it here. And lots of ults coming out. They're over-ulting pretty heavily for this one. 3 ults used in basically for nothing, but it's going to allow them to secure this first point. And I think, honestly, securing flashpoints is really, really important, even if it does take an overall. Although, it did feel kind of egregious that they used that many. I'm not going to lie. Like, maybe a little bit of overkill. Martian already coming back up to another pulse bomb. Performance had to use the High Noon. It's only going to be Kirito's May ult available, walking into likely 5 ults from Fallen Angels. Chop going to aggress with the cage. Kree, though, going to put performance down early. +1 situation for Fallen Angels. Chop looking for follow-up here. WAY2THANUS, they have the point positioning, though. Crunch goes wide onto the Ramatra. The ults are available here as Chain trying to stay alive. Kree is going to clean up Cameron. Chop doing everything on the Malga right now. This guy doing so much damage. Chain is going to fall. Kirito as well. An early control of the second point going to go Fallen Angels' way. I'll be here one day. 50, will you? Will you? Is it on DPS or support? That's the real question. The Lord knows if it's on DPS. Fallen Angel is going to be poking here early. Chop looking for early damage, but the mail from Kirito is going to come in here. Freezes the Malga, and you can see they're pinging Chop out here, and he will fall. Kree, though, going to use the blade, looking for trades. Going to find 2, 3 on the fight, 4 for the Genji. Wait, Kree is activated. Make it 5! 5K for Kree. And Fallen Angels very much in control of the second flashpoint. Maybe one more contest coming in here from WAY2THANUS, but this ult bank has been way too much to tear through. They're coming back up to their second set of ultimates here. Someone will have to touch, but probably can do it as a team. The ult bank from Fallen Angels is still very good. Performance on the off angle, looking for kills. Chop just trying to cut down this Juno. Both supports are going to fall here. Chain will fall next. Fallen Angels is going to use the ulticon perfectly. Find yet again this second point. 100-0 with the ulticon they had. You have to expect that would be the case. And they're going to move on over to the third flashpoint.
Move to the next point.
Chop looking for this early engage here. Gonna miss the crunch, but the space taken and performance is going to fall first. Martian starting to tear it up a little bit on the Tracer in his own right. Both of these DPS of Fallen Angels finding massive multi-kills here. 3 for Martian. And this early control going to go once again Fallen Angels' way on the third flashpoint. They have the Pulse Bomb and the Juno Ray to work with coming up on the Wing Gold. Lots of ults now in WAY2THANUS' favor. They miss out on the early checkpoint control, but they can definitely find their way into a flip here. Performance starting to scout out Martian. Tracer just poking the rotate here. Performance doing a lot of early damage to the Malga, and Kree's gonna fall to the rally. Kirito gonna invest the mail for good. I don't even know. Good measure is where I was going for with that. Martian's gonna stagger this touch out. Does fall, and really nice job of WAY2THANUS there. Dump 2 ults, and they're gonna win the fight here. And if Fallen Angels can take a quick enough fight, they should get a third here. Not 100% sure, but they should be able to make 2 fights out of this. If WAY2THANUS can force it long, though, that would probably be preferred. Ulticon starting to equalize a little bit. Kree coming up on the blade. Benji going to start us off with the Wing Gold onto the Genji here. Third shield going to block the follow-up, and now performance using the high noon. And Kree is going to fall. Lots of ults used here from WAY2THANUS, though. Consequence did drop the Juno Ray, and Chop going to fall late in the fight. With Fallen Angels, though, they're going to have another touch here. Martian is set up for it, and Chop should be back in time as well. And no ults in the bank for WAY2THANUS. Potentially a blunder here. It's going to be the Cage, the Blade, and the Ray for Fallen Angels coming into the next one. It's going to take some heroics from one of the DPS for WAY2THANUS to win it. Kree going to start us off with the Blade, looking for the Cassidy, and just going to cut through this back line. Cameron going to fall. Consequence will trade catch here, but this fight very much going Fallen Angels' way. Chaining Consequence just going to die on the point. There should be another fight for WAY2THANUS here. Coming up on the May ult, but Catch has this Juno Ray. Chop the Cage as well. I think Chop's going to have to try and use the Cage, force the mailed out without using the shift, right? So you can drop the Cage and then use the shift to get out of it. Could be techie as fuck, but the Lord knows.
My ultimate is you guide us
Someone going to have to be the one who touches here. Chain taking a little bit of early poke, but Boot Chop going to the back line with the cage. Here is the May ult. It's going to find Boot Chop. And the Malga's going to fall here. Do WAY2THANUS have life? Not if Martian has anything to say about it. 2 quick kills for the Tracer. Looking for the May. Forces out the block, but WAY2THANUS, they need trades. They're going to find one on Decree. Rally from Cameron. But Martian going to receive this Wu-Yang bubble. Chain, though, starting to farm in the back line. Big kills for the Ramatra player as he tries to find the Wu-Yang. Boot Chop is back, though, and no one touches, maybe? No, they do. Martian going to continue to touch it here. Boot Chop is on the point. Consequence gets rid of the Wu-Yang. This one getting scrappy fast. Boot Chop taking a lot of damage, and WAY2THANUS find the kill. Chain 2, and they're going to go up 2-1 here on map 4. Can they get us to the 5th map? It's only going to take one more flashpoint. The High Noon and Ram ult available to do it with. Martian, the Pulse Bomb, Kree, another Blade. It's coming down to the wire. Fallen Angels trying to end this one in 4.
Flashpoint unlocks in 10 seconds.
Chain gonna make his way onto the point. Boot Chop, though, already set up here. Massive crunch in the backline, and performance is gone. Dissolve into the aether. But these DPS of Fallen Angels are kind of low. Kree is gonna get traded. Martian and Boot Chop, though, going to find Cameron. Chain falls, and it looks like Fallen Angels, they're gonna find this first fight win on the 4th point. 3rd consecutive early cap for them. Once again, we'll see if they can build some momentum here. Can they end this in 4? It would probably be preferred. No one knows what can happen on a map 5. And Kree gonna start off with the Blade here. Cuts down Consequence. Gonna find the Brig as well. And it looks like WAY2THANUS probably just content letting this one go. I mean, the trades are here, though. It's gonna be a 3v2 in Fallen Angels' favor, but Minji and Catch are cut down. 2 ults available here from the remaining players of WAY2THANUS, though, but performance going to get dropped by Kree and Boot Chop. The Malga will get traded, though. Nice drop from Chain. These respawns should be close to being back here. With no Malga available, it's going to be hard for Fallen Angels to stay on the point here. You can see Kree getting forced off by the Ramatra. Martian going to have a touch, and the Pulse Bomb going to be green onto Chain. Should get Fallen Angels over the edge here. A really nice flashpoint from them. I think they played this one to perfection, and oh my lord, Consequence, goodbye, son. It's the Martian show, but Kirito gonna find 2 kills. Performance cleans up Martian too, and suddenly it's just Boot Chop and Benji. This Malga going to get the Wu-Yang ult, and the May ult comes out, going to force Boot Chop to use the shift, but the Malga is alive still. Chain is back on the Doomfist, and Benji not gonna be able to find anything here. Boot Chop looking to re-aggress with the cage into this, but the wall from Kirito, I don't think he knows how important this wall is, to be honest. With the cage available from Boot Chop, crucial. And this cage is going to hold the May in a jail. Trying to find the follow-up on a Kirito. Chain is on the Doomfist, will fall, and it's going to take a miracle from WAY2THANUS to find a win here. Cameron does trade catch, but just performance left, and the flip is in for Fallen Angels, and we will be going to the 5th flashpoint. Both teams have some ulti-con coming up here. It's going to be the Ray, the Pulse, the Blade from Fallen Angels, and it's going to be the Ray, the High Noon for WAY2THANUS here. We'll see who can get the better Ray turn off and potentially find a fight win. It's going to be the early Ray from Catch here. Consequence and Performance, though, going to use their ults in succession, trying to find some way back in, but it's all Fallen Angels in the kill feed. And pretty massive ult fight for Fallen Angels to win. They only use the Juno Ray, and they get out the Ray and High Noon in turn, and they're looking primed to end this one in 4. Martian has the Pulse, Kree the Blade, and Benji the Wu-Yang ult. Nothing available for WAY2THANUS. Dire straits here. We'll see what they can do to try and find their way back into the map. With how sticky Martian has been today, This Pulse Bomb could very well end a fight on its own. You can see this Tracer is set up. Looking for performance, and the Cassie is just going to fall early here. Martian doing the most. The trades, though, for WAY2THANUS aren't bad. Consequence will fall now at 3v2, but Catch going to go down on the point. Chain has worked his way up to a Ramatra ult. Chop taking a lot of damage here. Martian still has his Pulse Bomb available. We could see it once again on Chain as soon as he comes out of form here. But the Tracer's going to fall, and somehow, wait, there's no way Fallen Angels win this fight, right? Wait, I mean, not Fallen Angels, WAY2THANUS. They get a stagger onto Benji, too. Wait. Significant play here from WAY2THANUS, and suddenly the opening doesn't look too bad. They have the Mail, they have the Ramble, and the Rally. Walking into the Cage Blade Pulse of Fallen Angels here. One fight Fallen Angels need to win, though, to secure the map, potentially. WAY2THANUS still have a lot of work left to do here, but definitely much more doable than it looked a second ago, though. Greed going to start us off with the Blade. And Cameron's Rally not going to be successful in fending the Genji off, but Chain's going to find the kill. The trades are in. Performance is on the Tracer now, but 4v3 in WAY2THANUS' favor. Chain going to get his Rambo, of course, but Bootchop's going to use the Cage, and I don't know if I would have advised that one. Going to get the ult trade out from Kirito, but this respawn from the Malga going to be somewhat late considering the points already at 75% and counting. No ults available from Fallen Angels. In consequence, gonna have the next impact one available here with the Ray. Performance has the Pulse Bomb, but Kirito's gonna put Benji down early. And will WAY2THANUS do it here on the 5th flashpoint? Creed's gone. Bootchop's frozen. Performance trying to see what he can do here. And Martian finds a trade onto Cameron, but is it enough here? 2 for the Tracer. What can he make happen? No recall available, and Performance is gonna hunt him down. And it looks like WAY2THANUS, they're gonna get it over the edge here, and we're going to map 5. No way! I thought it was low-key over. Look at Chain's KD! He's 42 and 10! Oh my god! And Martian's 50 and 8! Wait, what? No way! I cannot believe this. What a series we have in our hands right now. Holy cow. A 5th map? Who was expecting this one with how it was looking after the first 2, but we're all the way here. WAY2THANUS trying to get the reverse sweep on Fallen Angels, but Fallen Angels, they're going to get the last map pick here. It has to be out of the hybrid pool, and I think it's going to be Blizzard World if I was to bet. But it feels like WAY2THANUS have kind of figured out this Malga comp. Mayban is available, though, for Fallen Angels, and honestly, that's where I would kind of direct my attention to. I think once Kirito gets off Mei, it gets really, really hard, but he could just play the Pharah as well, so we'll have to see what they decide to do here. And I'm going to go ahead and get the score update that I crave. Mouse 5, 3-1 team missing, and they're going to be in Masters next season. No way. What a game from the Mouse 5 boys, man. They've been all over the place at times, but securing a Masters spot, holy cow. Let me ping the lads in the Discord, bro. What a series. Wow, I love that team, dude. They know I love them. I've streamed them so much at the start of the season. They've been here. They've day ones, bro. So big shout out to the Mouse 5 guys, man. Holy cow, I love it for them. I love it for them so much. But obviously, I do love the Soul Say guys too. Just saying. You got to get hype for the boys. You got to get hype. And WAY2THANUS, going to get her counter ban here. Fallen Angels, they do play Blizzard World, and they ban the Alari. Holy cow, my mouth is dying. And the counterban is in from WAY2THANUS. Can Martian do more? He's actually perfect. He is perfect, dude. Martian is low-key wild. I am not going to lie. And I'm going to get a lobby invite. The ban is in as well. And it's going to be the Echo taken away by WAY2THANUS here with the Alari gone. Cameron not going to be able to play it. Hopefully we have an all-time classic brewing up here. And I'm curious to see what these teams play. Bootchop is in, Nyanza coming in. It could be Cat Bastion for Fallen Angels, and I would not be surprised to see it. And Lukey wanted to see the master scores too, I'm not going to lie. Kintsugi is up 2-1. Let me grab this other score real quick. I'm a fiend, I know. And wow, this 4-4 overtime on map 4 for Exo Team Z. That is brutal, but we're tied and tapped into this series. Let me take us over to the end game. And it's not going to be the Cat Bastion. Honest Overwatch, man. We haven't seen Cat Bastion all series. This is what I like to see. Kirito sticking it out on the Mei. Cameron on the Ana. Consequence to Kiri. Performance to Ashe. Chain. The Orisa. Interesting comp from WAY2THANUS. And from Fallen Angels, I mean, what else would we expect? Malga, Kiri Lu, Imray Tracer. I mean, maybe Nyanza's pick was up in the air, but I mean, I'm not very surprised at seeing any of these other picks. So, see if they can kind of secure this one here or not. It is their final map pick in the series. Chain cooking from the high ground here. Fallen Angels starting on the attack. Nyanza taking some early damage, but we'll be able to rotate onto this high ground. Performance on the Ashe. Character I feel like kind of getting a little bit of an uptick in playtime as of late. I love Ashe. It was one of my first mains in Overwatch 1, so I love watching this character. But performance. And have to rotate over here as Chain just going to blow up to Fallen Angels. Kirito dead as well. Performance. Mine's a nice trade onto Martian, but if WAY2THANUS want to get back into this, they still have so much work that needs to be done and a lot of heads that need to be tapped for performance, but he's making it happen right now. But is anyone able to touch the point here for WAY2THANUS? You can see Performance trying to make his way over to it. He's going to be able to. Chain back on the Doomfist. WAY2THANUS, they think it's winnable. Kirito on the Pharah as well. I feel like I would be wrong to say it wasn't. These swaps going to make it kind of hard. And Chain, you got to stay on the point. The punch misses, and with Chain falling, I think Fallen Angels are going to find this early point cap, and they will. 5 minutes to play with for the second point. And WAY2THANUS, they all had us believing there for a second, but Fallen Angels, they get it over the line. Performance poking from the high ground. Consequence coming up on the rush. Performance, the Bob. For Fallen Angels, it's going to be the rush, the beat. Benji really, really close to it. Honestly, all 5 are really coming up for Fallen Angels, for being honest. Curious to see what WAY2THANUS do to find their way back into this. You see Martian just being a nuisance here. Is he even shooting anyone? I swear he's just shooting the wall at times, right? Like, we're now going to start setting up for backline. Performance going to kick us off with the Bob here, trying to force out the Lucio, but the beat going to keep Benji alive here as the Chain looks like going to be the main target of the Fallen Angels assault. Even with the carry rush up, this Orisa so susceptible and going to fall. Catch though is traded. Performance cooking in the back line, looking for the Lucio. The trades are already here. Bootchop falls in Performance, coming up big when it matters most. I think that was basically 3 or 4 on the fight for the Ashe. Holy cow, this guy. And he's gonna start off this hold for WAY2THANUS. Clock moving down to 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Both supportals were used by Fallen Angels in the previous team fight. See if they can start cooking again or not. It's gonna be Nyanza starting us off here with the Imray ult. Kirito's barrage though is going to neutralize the cage as Bootchop falls, and WAY2THANUS, even though they lost the first point really quickly, they're looking to put something together here. And they're holding out. 3 minutes now remain for Fallen Angels, and only the Pulse Bomb available. And look at WAY2THANUS' ult economy. It's really starting to wrap back around here. It's going to be on Martian. to make something crazy happen here for Fallen Angels. We'll have to see if he can do it. And this guy with the pulse bombs all series long, he's been so good. Forcing the Pharah out early, but needs to be careful here. Chain also needs to be careful here. Looking for Nyanza and finds the kill. The Orisa trying to stay alive here, but Boochomp's crunch going to find him, but not going to stave off Chain. He will manage to stay alive here. I'm going to reset back to the high ground. Bob and Orisa were used. Performance going to find a nice stagger onto Marshall as well. And suddenly Fallen Angels, things are looking kind of tough now. Coming back up on the backline, Ultimortion still has the pulse bomb, but the time bank getting ever lower, and the cart starting to push back as well. Boochop looks like wants to force the high ground into Chain. Orisa is trying to hold the Malga back. The pulse bomb from Martian is going to go wide, but Catch cooking up this Curie Rush rather quickly, trying to match consequences. Boochop taking so much pre-fight damage here. You see Chain trying to see if he should drop for Martian or not, but Kirito going to start us off here. Once again, Nyanza is gone, and it looks like Fallen Angels going into full retreat mode. Make sure they don't give up another trade here. Another stagger could be brutal. Boochop just going to play the slow neutral here. Wants to continue trying to build towards Malga Cage. Cat has the Curie Rush available now. Benji coming up on the beat. Lots of bullets for WAY2THANUS to use in turn. Both Curie Rushes are out, and the ult dump is ridiculous here. Kirito is going to lose the war of attrition with the Malga. And Fallen Angels have their first opening pick of the second point here. Beat out from Benji, going to give Fallen Angels another turn here to look for damage. Cameron trying to stay alive here. Performance will trade Nyanza before going down. It is 4v4, and Boochop has the cage, looking for the Pharah in the sky, and Kirito needs to be careful as this Malga is on the hunt. Chain, though, using the Orisa ult. What can he find? It's going to find damage onto Benji, but Boochop is going to clean up the Pharah in the backline. Boochop coming over to the point now, trying to find Chain. The Orisa doing a nice job staying alive here. Now, all the cooldowns have been forced. What can Chain do? Performance going to use the Bob here, and this Ashe has been dishing out so much damage. And it looks like this fight is going to stagnate out into another neutral here. Both teams just kind of poke and prod at each other. Boochop needs to get healthy before Fallen Angels take another fight here, but the ult bank of WAY2THANUS has been exhausted. Coming up on some, but Consequence stuck in the cage here. The Kiriko will fall. Chain also stuck in the cage, and it looks like Fallen Angels going to get over the line. 5v2. Cameron and Kirito just going to die on the point. And if you're WAY2THANUS, I think you take this one. You milk this one 5 minutes in change, to be 100% honest. And now only 1:30 remaining for Fallen Angels to work with on the third point. What is up, Mr. Camden, Dr. Camden? Joined in at a fantastic time. Good job on the corner here. Taking a lot of early damage here from Kirito. Looks like Nyanza gonna stick us off, start us off here with the Imre ult. Looking for Chain. Lots of damage into the Orisa with the Imre, taking a lot of damage in turn here. Big shot onto Cameron. Going to drop the Lucio a half, but Performance is gonna find the opener here. Boochop does fall. Nyanza falls next. For Performance. And WAY2THANUS begin their hold. Hunter Tane, thank you so much for the raid, brother. It was a great time on FaceIt Frenzy with you. We got to get more of those going. It has been awesome. Dexatron as well. Thank both of you for the raid. Appreciate you guys so much. Big things hopefully cooking for FaceIt League next season. And I can only shout out one of you, so I'm doing Hunter Tane because he went first. And the shout out goes on cooldown, so I can't do it in quick succession. 2 minutes, I got you, Dex. But yeah, Kirish gonna start us off here for Fallen Angels. Trying to end this one, beat out from Cameron, but the Kirito beat is out. But Benji Ajax, wait, Kirito, big barrage gonna end this one. And with the beat not getting off, all of Fallen Angels are gonna drop here. Big play from Kirito. And WAY2THANUS are gonna hold it on the third point. And it could not be more storybook. So I think that means Exo won, right? Yep, Exo 3-1. Did I not say it on FaceIt Frenzy? I had Exo. 3-1 or 3-0. I didn't know which one it was. I knew Team Z were good for a map.
Initiating match.
But yeah, that Ajax from Benji. Oh my god. On map 5, elimination on the line. Oh, It's just brutal. It's just brutal. There's really nothing else you can say. But WAY2THANUS, the job is not done. The hold is nice, but you need to get this cart all the way through the map, basically. And we'll see what comp they choose to kind of do it with here. I don't know if much is going to change. Performance going to start out on the Widow here, maybe just looking for an early kill, but
So, DJ,
I wouldn't think it would be
what's your
much
favorite
more. Yeah, Kintsugi one too. Ha! Perfect FaceIt Frenzy Fred streak continues. WAY2THANUS is here.
Battle draws near. Ready yourselves.
What can I say? I'm gassed. You go ahead and hit a tab. For the viewers at home here, Performance been electric on the Ashe this series. 19 and 3, 10k damage. I mean, this hits game player turning up big time.
Attackers incoming.
Gonna be on the Widow here. We'll see if he can find an early pick or not. I'm just gonna go back to the spawn. Oh my god. Oh my god. Got it on the stream. Going over to the Ashe now. Nyanza is going to mirror. We're in an Ashe mirror in this current day and age, 2026, with this current patch. I haven't seen this one in a while, but Bootchop going to find that early kill on Akirito, put an end to WAY2THANUS' attack early. Performance, you can see this guy is tapping. Dynamite going to land onto Nyanza, trying to find the follow-up headshot, but not going to be able to here. And oh, Nyanza goes down. Big kill for Performance early. And WAY2THANUS, they have an end now. Lots of damage missing from the team comp of Fallen Angels. Chain walking forward, gets the Suzu to stay alive. Bootchop crunch. Going to help lead to the kill of Kirito here from Martian, but Benji is so low. Getting carried up by Catch, and you can see Chain starting to aggress onto the Ana here, pinging this out. Martian, though, finds a second, doing everything he can, but these supports in hell for Fallen Angels. Nyanza cleans up Cameron with the Imre. So low. Performance low as well, but going to fall to Bootchop, and it looks like WAY2THANUS are going to lose this one. Very close team fight, though, and Fallen Angel is going to continue to hold the first point strong, wait for the respawns to come back. And ult's starting to become a factor here. Chain built up to the Orisa ult. Performance has the Bob available. Kirito working up to this barrage, and everything's starting to come online for Fallen Angels besides the Imre ult as well. Catch going to have the Fury Rush first, Marching the Pulse Bomb to follow as well. Chain getting aggressive here early. With the Orisa ult not going to lead to anything. Performance, though, going to find the opener here. And Bootchop in the backline going to be isolated from the Ana and does fall. And finally, WAY2THANUS, it looks like they have it here. Chain on the point, looking for follow-up. Benji taking so much damage, but Nyanza does trade Performance. The Ana will fall, but Nyanza finds a second here, and suddenly the recontest looks like it's available for Fallen Angels if they want it, but looks like they're going to opt not to. Bootchop just wants to play the second point with the cage available, the rush, and the Nano Emerald as well. I do not blame him. 4 minutes available for WTT to work with. Consequence has the Curie Rush. Kirito the Barrage, and Cameron worked up to a beat here. 4 ults versus 3. Performance has just been such an X factor so far here on the Ashe. Martian, though, with the Pulse Bomb, can he find it? Or not with the Pulse Bomb, just with the turn here. But Kirito going to get canceled out of Barrage by Bootchop. Big mistake from the Pharaoh player. And suddenly Fallen Angels looks like the ability to get a lot of time off of this point. All too real. And Benji typing, Jax, son, we saw what you did in the first round. I wouldn't be typing anything if I was him. Much love, though, you know what I mean? But like, ooh. Bootchop going to continue to hold this corner here. Chain trying to approach from the off angle, and Nyanza using the Imre ult here, just going to force the Orisa out. Beat out from Cameron. Bootchop going to get the Nano and use the cage here, and the kills will be found for Fallen Angels. Expensive team fight, though. Nano, cage, and Imre ult used. Just going to leave them with the Curie Rush and the Pulse Bomb. And WAY2THANUS have their Curie Rush, Chain's ult coming up for the next team fight. playing from main here, doing a nice job poking Kirito out early. This Pharah dropping so low. It was all Fallen Angels on low ground. It's going to open the door to this Consequence Fury Rush, and Nyanza's going to get cleaned up on the back end of the kite. WAY2THANUS going to be able to cash in on some space here as Kirito looking to clean up on this backline with Chain. But this Pharah needs to be careful here, needs care. Going to get the Suzu and able to barely stay alive, but going to fall with this Fury Rush coming out. Buchop is going to do way too much damage with the Malga guns, and this Malga player really starting to get active. Crunch out, 3 for him on this fight. And the hold starting to occur for Fallen Angels. Only 2 minutes remaining. Twisted, thank you so much for the gift sub, brother. Appreciate you so much. Congrats on the GM3 rank up as well. New Twin, how much longer? Need some poke. Didn't know we were playing poke yet, so I was low-key was going to do something else. But Chop in the small room here. You can see WAY2THANUS trying to rotate, but this crunch is way too good. Performance is going to fall. Kirito finds a Martian. And it's going to be a pretty clean team fight here, just going the way of Fallen Angels early. WAY2THANUS, it's time make. It's only down to a minute now. Chain needs to find some way to take the space, but with Kirito dying early, that is not the way you wanted to start off. Consequence dead as well, and it looks like it needs to be a quick recontest here from WAY2THANUS. Chain is going to die, and it looks like it's really just all stagger kills in this team fight. It's going to be one more attempt here. Can WAY2THANUS get it over the line? They're going to have damn near 5 ults to work with, but the ult bank for Fallen Angels looks just as good. Only missing really the Curie Rush in this next fight. Martian starting to aggress onto the Pharah. Kirito trying to stay alive here. The fight starting to take place from main. Buchop getting active, has the cage, but Chain just going to wait. Play slow, let the cart continue to push up here. Performance has the bob. Going to go onto the high ground. This Malga taking a lot of perk early, but both tanks getting low. And Performance draws first blood in the neutral. Goodbye Benji. Goodbye Catch as well. Performance, he's turning up when his team needs him most. No ults needed for WAY2THANUS, and they're going to have 5 for the last point. 3 kills for the Ashe. And everything available here. 5 ults for basically both teams here at the precipice. Bob gonna start us off. Dynamite onto the Malga, and Buchop is just going to get torn through. The Nano Imre is out though, and the beat from Cameron is good to keep everyone on WAY2THANUS alive. And the kills are coming in here. Consequence with 2. Chain gonna clean up the Imre, and it's just Martian left to stagger out on the point, and we're gonna get a 3rd point here. You could not ask for a better match. And they don't need to get it very far here. Only about halfway through the 3rd point. Ult banks have been expended. Kirito has the barrage. Chain the Orisa ult. And Catch has built up to his, to his Curie Rush. And Buchop has the cage, but Nyanza will fall early. And Fallen Angels, you have to see, will they wait for the Imre to come back? It looks like they will. Going to take a quick recontest, but this is going to force last fight. And I think this barrage Orisa ult combo could be dangerous. Poking from the off angle. What can he find? Nyanza set up. This barrage could be the ultimate factor. Just going to use it to nullify the cage. But Kirito falling so low in the air, and Chain's going to die. WAY2THANUS, I think they have time for a reset here. It looks like they're going to take it here. All of the players just going onto the cart and dying. And Kiki, I know you're watching this 2 minutes behind, but they do not need an extra minute. It's going to come down to the last fight. Kirish available, Nano available for Fallen Angels, and nothing in the bank for WAY2THANUS. It's going to take a generational effort here from the players to get this one over the line here on map 5. What can they do? Performance poking. Nyanza drops very low on the high ground, but Buchop with the Nano, with the Curie Rush, tearing through Chain, but the picks are in. Kirito and Performance lighting it up. Will this Malga be able to clutch it out. It's just the DPS left, and they made it close at the end. 3 for Benji, but it's going to be Bootchop who remains on top of the point, and Fallen Angels are going to advance to lower finals tomorrow, facing Team Missing. Holy cow. Look at performance. 36-10. This Ashe player was a monster. Bootchop 40-8. And Fallen Angels going to win an absolute dogfight. And wow, what a series, folks. Give both teams all the credit in the world. That was an all-time classic if I've seen one before. Playoffs has been so good in Expert and Masters so far. Just truly an awesome generational effort from both teams. Fallen Angels, they get it over the line. Much, much love to them. They looked so, so good against a very, very strong team. I think they have looked lackluster at times in playoffs, so I'm very, very happy that they are looking strong. And for WAY2THANUS, man, I mean, they're going to get eliminated here, but you have to look at the bright side. I'm sorry, I'm reading the chat. You have to look at the bright side. They've already clinched the relegation spot. They are going to get to play next season. No, that's a lie, actually. I didn't know what I was saying. They just have clinched the relegation spot, so they still get games going on. You know what I mean? Like, they still have matches left to play in relegation. I believe relegation does take place, like, literally next week, right? Like, it's not very long from now. So, lots to look forward to there. Hopefully this is not the end of WAY2THANUS, and maybe we'll see them in Masters next season. Who even knows? But Fallen Angels, absolutely monster game, and there can only be one player of the match, and I've seen love for him in the chat, and he played an absolute massive series here to get it in 5. It's going to go to the man who played all 5 maps on DPS, Martian himself. Congrats, Mr. Martian. That 50-8 on Atlas, even though they lost, it sold me. I mean, holy cow. This guy in the Tracer was frying all series. Obviously, PlayToys played insane, or not PlayToys, Bootshot played insane. I'm sure PlayToys did play insane in their series in the upper bracket, but Bootshot played insane. The support's awesome all series long. And the other DPS, Nyanza and Kree as well. Kree, very, very good on the Genji and the Reaper this series. Nyanza on the hit scan as well. Bringing in just what Fallen Angels need to get it over the line, but it's going to go to Martian. I mean, he's the Tracer guy. What can I say at this point, right? This guy is just a fucking monster. And I think that's 2 consecutive MVPs for him, but he deserves both of them wholeheartedly. He was just so, so good this series. So big congratulations to Martian, and big congratulations to Fallen Angels as well. Really, really awesome series, and I'm really excited I got to cast it, bro. I think I may be the expert whisperer, bro. Whenever it looks like kind of a Masters match day, go ahead and do a Masters game. You know, I see a little expert game, and it's always a banger, bro. You guys always deliver, bro. I love expert so much. Hopefully more people are watching it. I know it's kind of hard to watch the matches because they never get streamed, but I hope people from Masters, you know, people from Advanced, everyone just get to watch the games, you know, cheer for their friends, cheer for their teams, you know, stuff like that. It's been awesome to cast expert this season, and it just continues to deliver. And what a series. And I will not be commenting on any of the beef in the chat. I will be 100% honest. That is between the players. I do not get involved in beef because, frankly, I do not care that much. But yeah, Jesus, what a series. I am dumbfounded. I'm not going to hold us too long, though. Quick little post game. What do I want to go to? I mean, tomorrow I could stream. I may not. I do not know yet. That will be a game time decision. So stay tuned in the Discord, in the Twitter. Join the Discord, please. It's really awesome to have people in it. I love having people in it. Actually, do we want to do a interview? I'm curious. Let me go ahead and ask Catch. Anyone want interview? Let's just see. I mean, shit. Why not? You know, we're here. We're all here for now. Might as well get one in if they want it. I'm down. I will sit here and wait. But yeah, game time decision tomorrow. I do not know if I'm streaming or not. Catch is going to do an interview with us. Awesome, dude. Catch is my former player I managed, so that is a king. That is my goat right there. I love Catch very, very much. So I'm gonna do an interview with him. See what's popping. See how they're feeling. I will drag him in now. What is up, Mr. Catch? What a series, dude. Holy cow. You guys went nuclear, bro. No, yeah, that went the distance. Honestly, you guys started off like really strong too. Like I didn't know if it was going the distance to be honest with you. Like, uh, go ahead, you can talk if you want. No, yeah, I get it. I mean, I don't know if no reason, right? I mean, I think WAY2THANUS honestly played really, really well, and I don't know necessarily what they did, what game plan they had to come into it. But what did you guys like? What was your like focus coming in? I guess like did you have specific maps you wanted to do in specific bands you were kind of targeting? Because like map 5, I know I was kind of thinking like a May band because I felt like it was really, really strong against boot shop across the entire series. But I didn't. You obviously didn't do it, and it kind of paid itself off as well. So what was your guys' like prep looking like? Like was there anything you specifically prepared for? Really? That's awesome, dude. Well, anyways, you played a fantastic series yourself. Your team played a fantastic series. I've gone ahead and given Martian my MVP, but here you are. Who do you think on your team deserves MVP? It can be yourself. It can be Martian. It can be anybody. Truly, like, do you have an MVP in mind? Like, did anyone play super, super insane today? Just feeling it.